Let me ask you this, how is it that dudes in the Tournament of Power who could not overcome even the easiest and simplest of opponents are now at the pinnacle of Dragon Ball power? How is it that this happens, guys?
I am sickened, but curious.
This is brand new news, something that just dropped. We not only have explanations from Toriyama himself on Goku's relevance toward the new normal, and I'm talking about how the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie basically changes everything and upends even everything we know from the Dragon Ball Super manga. We have explanations on Cell Max, Orange Piccolo, and Gohan's new form. But we have further confirmation on what was going on in that moment when Gohan finally transformed into this mysterious new form that really doesn't make much sense if you just look at it the way that it looks. Because, come on, that's Gohan Blanco. But Toriyama and Toei are dead set in explaining to you that this is not the case, that they are not taking Dragon Ball fan ideas and repurposing them for the Dragon Ball Super show. No, this was always in the cards. These things were always meant to happen. So let's jump into this news. If you love Dragon Ball Super Superhero and love Dragon Ball, make sure to hit that like button, and if you subscribe, turn on all notifications. That way you never miss any new information about Dragon Ball, the movies, or the manga. Also, we're almost at 400,000 subscribers, almost 400,000 souls. We can make this final push, guys, and get to the 400k mortal plan. Let's complete it as soon as possible. This is a power scale made by Saiyan Scholar, and I want to come back to this. Cell Max. Cell, created by Dr. Gero's manipulation of cells, was a formidable and powerful enemy. This time, Gero's grandson Hido, demonstrating his genius, used the blueprints of the cell to create a giant, even more powerful version of Cell called Cell Max. However, it was made only because Magenta strongly wanted it. Hido himself didn't have any personal attachment to it, so there is nothing from the original Cell in this monster. This is all created from the blueprints that Dr. Gero left behind, and was only really created by Magenta's push to have Cell just like Dr. Gero had. I believe that more than likely, seeing the power of Cell, he realized that, yeah, he would like some androids, but Cell, that is the pinnacle of an android right there, the biological android. Dr. Hido, as opposed to Dr. Gero, really had no personal attachment to Cell Max at all. It was just a Frankenstein monster to him. Once completed, it was supposed to be a metahuman that not even Broly would be able to beat, but he was forcibly activated early, turned into an uncontrollable monster. His screams and flails around in a huge body with hideous coloring, so I felt a bit sorry for the voice actor. Actually, he is a veteran voice actor too. I'm so sorry. Remember, these are Akira Toriyama's thoughts, and of course in the movie, if you guys have watched it already, Cell Max is like screaming the entire time, so I can see why he would feel bad for the vocal cords of the actor who played him, trying to be like a veteran actor like, say, Sean Schemmler or anyone who's played Dragon Ball for quite some time. But Cell Max was supposed to be stronger than Broly once completed, so this is in the completed form, and it makes sense. This is a form that is detached from anyone actually controlling it. Remember, Cell Max was supposed to be controlled by Magenta, and if Magenta wasn't controlling it because he got released early, that means we got this form. So that more than likely means that the official, completed, ginormous form of Cell Max looked like Final Form Cell, because this was released in the middle of its cycle, and so it looks like semi-perfect Cell. So the completed form more than likely would have acted like Magenta and basically been the final form of Cell that we know. And that form was supposed to be stronger than Broly. The one that we got is not. My favorite character is Piccolo because of his quietness and stoicism. It's rare to see him talk and run around like he does in this movie, but this is probably also the first time Piccolo has undergone a major transformation in the series. Since he has no hair to upend, I made him a bit more robust. I also made him orange because otherwise it might be hard to distinguish, but even so, there might be some situations where it is hard to tell the difference between this and the normal one. I think I should have made it a bit more over the top, but I'm personally pleased that he finally has obtained a fighting strength that rivals that of Goku and the others. The name Orange Piccolo is very typical of Piccolo, who lacks good taste of naming, right? So Piccolo basically named his own transformation, so that's why I don't really care too much about the orange Piccolo part, because Piccolo is terrible at naming things, and he has been in the entire series. So him naming himself Orange Piccolo because he is orange, it fits him 100%. And Piccolo, remember, is the main character of this movie. He drives the plot forward. I did like to see him take an active role and be talking to a lot more people and characters that he normally wouldn't be associating with himself on his own, like one-on-one. Now, Toriyama says that he wished he would have made him more over the top. To me, the orange version of Piccolo, the final form, is perfect. This is enough. You essentially make him huge like Slug, and then you give him orange, making him the same color of the Dragon Balls, including his arms have a darker orange to them, and then you get some really cool new different powers or whatever. I think that form is really cool. What I think could have used more is the in-between form, where he gets his power unleashed and he loses the lines on his arms. I think that form could have been a little bit better, maybe like a little bit more lanky, maybe shorter, maybe a little bit more contrastful from the orange form. But either way, Piccolo did get a really good power up, and as you guys have heard from Toriyama himself, Orange Piccolo is on par with Goku right now. So he is on the same wavelength as Goku and Vegeta, who basically are around that same level. Gohan Beast, not Final Gohan as it was said earlier in the cycle. No, this is Gohan Beast, or Beast Gohan. I like Gohan Beast better. Gohan has had quite a few transformations in the past, but now he had to transform and awaken to a new one. Based on the image of Gohan's awakening in his youth, Gohan has evolved in his own unique way. I named this transformation Gohan Beast because I felt that the beast inside him had awakened. As for the design, I tried drawing a scary face with pale skin, but it didn't seem to fit Gohan's image, so I ended up simply putting his hair up in a big bun, as I often do, to give him a crisp look. Surprisingly, this was well received and everyone said, "That looks so cool." I was flattered to receive such kind words from everyone. Frankly, I'm having a hard time figuring out what kind of design I could do if he transforms any further. Laughs. No, he does not need to transform any further. This is his final transformation, Toriyama. You do not need to push this guy any further. This is what we always wanted. We wanted him to have a cool new original transformation. Now remember, Gohan's ultimate goal was he wanted a form no one has ever seen before. He also wanted something separate from Goku and Vegeta. This is essentially it. It is a culmination of what we've been seeing throughout Gohan's life, and I'm hoping that he doesn't go back to being a weakling. I'm hoping that this leaves him at this phase. He cannot get weaker than this. Even in his base, he relatively remains strong, not like he has been in this movie. In this movie, he was basically a weakling, basically rusty. I want this to be, no matter how much he studies, no matter how little he works out, he remains in his prime. He remains top tier. That is what I want from this transformation. Although you did hear Toriyama say that he wanted to make him pale or just pure white with a scary face because he wanted him to be a beast. But I think that Toriyama, given what the environment is around Gohan, given fan animations and fan mangas and fan art, I think he went with this choice because it was the most popular. It looked the most like Gohan when he was at his most popular, and it does look like a beast. There is no precedent for this. There is no precedent for white hair with red eyes. There is precedent with white hair with Ultra Instinct, but not red eyes. So this makes him unique, and I think that this is the culmination of everything hidden deep inside Gohan with his Saiyan and Earthling genes, things that we've seen since the Saiyan arc, and I love that, and that feeds into what happened in his transformation scene. Seeing Piccolo in a pinch, Gohan finally reveals his dormant power and takes on the form Son Gohan Beast. With silver hair, red eyes, and a tremendous aura, Gohan's appearance has an unbelievable fierceness that is hard to imagine from the usual Gohan that we know. So I think this is going to be the base for Gohan going forward. I don't think we're going to be getting any more weakling Gohan anymore. Earth has a new defender, and seeing as how this Gohan ended up defeating Cell in the movie, let's go back to the chart. The chart says that Ultimate Piccolo with his Ki awakened is at the weakest level in Dragon Ball Super Superhero. Then Ultimate Gohan, Gammas, Goku, and Vegeta, they are all right next to him. After that, we get Ultra Instinct Goku and Piccolo. And I will honestly throw Ultra Ego Vegeta between the orange tier and the green tier. And after that, we get the semi-perfect Cell Max that we saw. After that, we get Broly, and then at the end, we get Gohan versus Cell Max with Mind, which basically just means mind-controlled Cell Max, or when the actual creature would have been officially released, which would have been way beyond this movie, which I think would have looked more like the Cell that we know, Perfect Cell. But I don't think that Gohan deserves to be in this tier at all. I honestly think that Ultra Instinct Goku deserves to be in the tier with the semi-controllable Cell Max, if not right above that tier with Broly, because Ultra Instinct Goku has had way more time in the manga and in the anime to perfect his skills, as opposed to Orange Piccolo, who had like less than the ending of the movie. So he should be a little bit higher. And honestly, I think Gohan should be at the same level as Broly, around that same wavelength, because we don't really know how strong this ending creature is going to be. And Gohan needed the help of the Gammas and all the Z Fighters, and Piccolo especially, to weaken Cell Max enough and hold him down enough for him to deliver the finishing blow. So Gohan, to me, is on the same level as Broly, and that is Broly as we saw him in DBS Broly. I think that he is on that same wavelength. So I think the new normal is Gohan and Broly. Of course, we can say the final Cell Max, but we never got to see him, so he's just theoretical. This graph, this power scale is pretty close, but it could use a few modifications. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below.
Subscribe for more content. Or perish.